candidates for the primary junior division, here to give you all some insights that we have learned at our time in the Faculty of Ed. I'm Danica. I grew up in Oshawa, Ontario. I have a Bachelor of Arts and I'm looking forward to working in the Durham Catholic District School Board post-graduation.
Hi everyone, my name is Deanna. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition from Ryerson University. Just to give you a little background on where I went to school, I grew up in the Toronto District School Board and look forward to teaching in this school board in my future practice as well.
Hey everyone, it's Courtney. I have a Bachelor's in Physical Education from Brock University. I grew up in the small town of Dorchester, Ontario, and I attended schools in the London District Catholic School Board. This is actually the school board that I'm hoping to get hired on to post-graduation.
So we hope that we can share our learning experiences from Teachers College and our different experiences from boards all across Ontario to help other teachers gain ideas and new insights that we've been giving. So today, we're basing our current podcast on the changes in teaching due to COVID-19 and how we need to begin to look at teaching through a different lens. So ladies, how crazy is our world right now? I feel for educators. They must be struggling so hard.
Yeah, no kidding. Who would have thought that we'd be trying to teach our students online during the lockdown?
I know, it's actually really crazy, but I do feel like we're very fortunate that this program at Ontario Tech has provided us with so many technological resources. But I do know that there is such a range of knowledge that teachers have today with regard to technology and its use in the classroom. There are some teachers out there that are very comfortable with technology and others that are not so much.
For sure. I've had to do so much research to find engaging tools for my AT because she's relying on me with all of my tech knowledge from the program to help her out because she's never had to do this before. And a lot of teachers have never been in this situation. And if they don't have the tech resources, they're struggling really hard. So what are the best tech tools either of you have found?
Yeah, no kidding. For one of our courses, we are actually creating our own online learning environment. So by using different websites like Wix or Google Classroom or anything along those lines, I think this would be a really great idea for teachers to try to use for their online learning. There's so many different interactive features that can be added in that would be so beneficial for students. It would also keep them engaged and interested in their learning, which I believe to be so crucial for teachers to be trying to do when providing online lessons for their students.
Exactly, engagement and interest is the top thing, right? And I find that this is why PLNs are so important because they give us so many resources to help out in times like this, to find what works for engaging our learners and getting their interests involved. So I was actually looking at some PLNs the other day and I stumbled across this amazing online learning environment and I'm absolutely obsessed. It's called Bitmoji Classroom, and if you haven't seen it already, you gotta check it out. Teachers are using their Snapchat animated characters called Bitmojis, and they're incorporated it into their classrooms. And they've even made cartoon online classrooms to give their students an engaging and comfortable online atmosphere for learning. They make their characters dance and talk to their students. It's so creative and incorporates all the students' interests. The best part about it too is that you can make it as multimodal as you want. So, for instance, I just had to create an online learning environment for a course. So I used audio to allow my students to access the words in spoken and written form. And then I incorporated some images and videos to provide more of the multimedia principle for them.
Oh, I've heard of that. I know that some teachers actually have connected their Google Drive folders to their Bitmoji classrooms to allow for more discussion-based learning as well. Students there can work in groups and share their work. It's great and so engaging.
Oh my goodness, I love Bitmoji. That'd be so cool to try and use and check out. So I do have another question for you guys. Do you think that teachers will incorporate more technological use in their classrooms in the next school year and starting in September?
That's a good question. I mean, we can only hope, right?
I think that going forward, there's going to be so much uncertainty. We know for sure that universities are going to be online into the fall, which means that there's a big possibility that schools will be online as well. In this case, teachers are going to have to change the way that they're teaching to be fully an online experience. A big issue is inclusivity. It's a hard task for teachers in general and has grown to be more complicated given the online learning environments being used today. How do you think teachers will manage this?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, inclusivity has always been a big topic of conversation in our courses and how we can implement that in our class. So I think that teachers will need to do a lot of research and a lot of reflection. This is a new situation for all of us, so we all generally feel stuck. And I think that's why the use of PLNs will help a lot of us with this, because we can share ideas and let others know what worked and what didn't. So for me, I think adapting the online learning environment to showcase your students is crucial. So whatever online platform you're using should incorporate your students. So whether that's using their photos or their interests, etc., you have to do it. Like a lot of teachers right now are photoshopping themselves and their students into their online class. And I think that's amazing because it's letting the students feel regular again, almost as if they're in their classroom, but it's just online. And I don't think that online learning environments should just be a place to view your assignments and submit your work like a lot of teachers are doing right now. But it should be something that is as close to their regular classroom as possible.
Yeah, those are really interesting points, Danica. I also think it comes down to using DI when teachers are planning for their online classroom. There are so many different tools out there that teachers can use online that can meet the needs of all of their students. And these tools can be used to provide different options for students to choose from when they are completing tasks that are assigned. Technology is so fascinating, and we just need to be taking the time to properly plan for all of our students.
For sure. I mean, knowing your students is everything, right? And I think it's huge in general, but especially with online learning, because we need to be able to engage them on a whole new platform that no one's had to use before. And so I've seen some interesting ways of teachers engaging their students, like we've talked about before with the Bitmoji classrooms, but what else have you seen happening?
Something that a lot of teachers have been incorporating into their lessons are inquiry challenges. In this case, the students can participate in wonder walks that they can do in their own neighborhood. Students can do these in their backyards and communities just by going on a walk, and I think that this allows students to practice their inquiry-based thinking skills, especially in the spring, summer, and fall months. It pushes students to get outside and be in charge of their own learning. Interactive learning is so engaging for students, especially in these times that we're in, where we're unable to have these physical connections. Wonder walks allow for an interaction with the environment that sometimes we don't even have the opportunity to do in the classroom.
That's such a great idea. I love that, and I wish that I had that when I was in school, because getting outside is just, it's so much nicer than being stuck in a classroom or being stuck in your house doing work, you know? And the best part about it is it influences physical activity in your students, which is such a crucial point right now in the education system. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wonder walks are such a good idea, Deanna. I know one thing that some of my teacher friends have been doing is a check-in every Monday to see how their students are feeling. I guess there's this Google Slides template that has different emojis that they can drag into the center of the slide to show how they're feeling. And there's also an option for them to explain why they're feeling that way. We're all going through a difficult time right now, right? So it's important that we're checking in with our students to see how they are doing.
That's so awesome. Like, who doesn't love emojis? And I've seen that in art class presentations a couple times, actually, where student teachers have used their emojis as exit tickets for what they have learned. But I love that idea, and checking on their emotions. That's perfect. I've also heard of teachers dropping off flowers to their students, and they then incorporate this into the science curriculum and had them take care of their flowers. So each week the students would post a picture or updates to the Google Drive account to show the progress. And then the teacher each week will go into the different cycles of plant growth and post videos and activities related to each cycle. So this is a great way for the students to have fun and still be able to do hands-on learning from home.
Wow, kids must love that. I know it's hard to plan for hands-on learning when you don't know what materials the students have and if they have the support needed to complete the task. I think that's a great idea. I know Gizmos is super popular for science and lets kids do virtual experiments. It's crazy to think that we are just starting to think about teaching from a technological standpoint right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Who knows what the future is going to look like after this pandemic is over?
I know. It seems like we're talking about the year 2040 and describing how technology will evolve. It's like flying cars for education. That's all the time we have today, but next week we'll be talking about the complications to online learning, because as we know, every great idea has their issues. Thanks for listening to Progressive Education. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics you'd like us to talk about, we want to hear it. Just DM the Progressive Education Instagram account and we'll be sure to get back to you.